for him to get a flag for celebrating, that it would be unbelievable that a punter got flagged. It's not even the same rules across the board for all the players. Yeah, there's sack dances and things like that, but come on, let these guys have fun. I like the proposal idea of getting rid of some of the commercials during the game, and maybe that'll speed it up. That's not going to increase your viewership. People are not tuning out because the games are too long. Games have been, upwards of 3 hours as long as I can remember. The fact of the matter is the inconsistency with the refs and them not being full-time, so they're not invested and they pretty much have hurt feelings, leads to what you see from the refs week in and week out. The fact that Roger Goodell's power and the way he's handled or not handled situations properly has made some of those wayward fans go away. And face it, there's true football fans. There's fans of the game. There's fanaticals. There's bandwagons. There's different layers of fans. And the ones that you're seeing not in the ratings right now are the ones who will jump back on as soon as it's the cool thing again. And it'll be the cool thing again when the other fans are talking about how much fun it is, how great it is. And they're not talking about the stupid penalties or the bad punishments or the suspensions or the players' actions or Roger Goodell or anything outside of the game itself. Then it'll come back full force. Don't worry. As Aaron Rodgers says, relax. But the Browns, their fans are planning this 0-16 parade. And I don't know if they're far off. I said I was rooting for it. I said I wasn't rooting for it. It's a fine line. I would like to see it. I don't want it to happen at the same time. No team, like I said, should have to suffer that. They moved to 0-10 this week. I didn't agree with switching the quarterbacks and taking Kessler out for McCown. The game really just got out of hand at that point for Cleveland, and they were kind of fighting until that point. They weren't winning. I guess they were kind of in it. But as soon as Kessler came out, the wheels fell off, and Baltimore just took off and dominated the rest of the game. Not that McCown's worse than Kessler, but psychologically to a team, okay, we made a change. It's either going to be, okay, we made a change, or, oh, we made a change. And in this game, it looked like they went, oh, we made a change. And this is a game, don't get me wrong, the Browns weren't killing it before they made the change. We saw what happened on that return attempt where Hayden and Duke Johnson almost ran into each other. Well, pretty much did run into each other, but they didn't fumble the ball away. We know they had 12 men on the field before the first snap of the game and had to call a timeout. That's embarrassing. That's not on the players completely. That's coaching. You got to be aware. Hugh Jackson, you're out there claiming we're not going 0-16. Well, you very well look like you were going 0-16. You really, really do. Your coaches and you, sir, are not getting it done. And Cleveland, like Detroit, Cleveland hasn't won a championship since '58, the football team. Detroit hasn't won one since '57. And both teams back then, they dominated the NFL. Don't get it twisted. They haven't been really good since. Cleveland's had, heartbreaking seasons here and there, getting knocked down by the Broncos over and over again in the 80s. But they're looking, 6 games left, and I looked at the winning percentage chance for them. I don't think they have a winning percentage chance higher than 35% the rest of the season. Excuse me. So we'll see. Browns fans, I hope your parade goes off good. All right, after the break, we will hit on UFC 205. We still have the DC 3PO College Football Kickoff to get to, and we'll talk some NBA action as well. Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever. And try the Silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com. definitely check out the dirtcannon.com. I'm very grateful to them as they are the official fantasy partner of Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. They're doing big things. I support them fully, and I hope you guys can get out there and do that also with them. Because, not only is it helping a local company who's trying to grow, get bigger, it helps yourself out. You're going to win some money. You're going to win your leagues. If you're into that kind of thing, definitely check it out. And, they have articles, insight. Their lineup analyzer is amazing. I use it this week to set my FanDuel up. So check it out. It's good stuff. All right, tonight we got UFC 205. I'm sure you guys have been watching the coverage. It's pretty much the Conor McGregor show. Eddie Alvarez, Conor McGregor, they are the headliners. That's pretty much all you've been hearing about as far as tonight's matchups. But there's a lot of people on this card. You know how the UFC does. They have the early prelims, then they have the prelims, and then they have the main card. There's a lot of fights that go into the UFC 205 tonight. And of course, McGregor's going to get all the coverage. He's loud, he's boisterous, he's got the Irish accent, the tattoos, he can posture, he knows exactly how to twist everybody's arm. Get everybody interested, get everybody on the edge of their seats, whether you're a fan, whether you're against him. His actions make you want to tune in. And they're going to sell that. They're going to let him take it as far as they can let him take it without him embarrassing the company in any way. And Dana White basically said that. He was like, I got to look at him as one of my kids, and, you got to pick your battles. Well, they don't really pick battles with Conor. They don't. They might say, after this fight, he's going to defend this title or he's going to get stripped of it. But that's as far as they ever take it with him. And really, how hard is that? Okay, I have to fight next anyway. Okay, I'll fight at a different weight class. Whatever. He's a fighter. That's what he does. But him and Alvarez, you saw the coverage. He came out in his white bathrobe. He almost threw the chair. He took the belt. He was doing the Gangnam style. He was being typical Conor McGregor. Eddie Alvarez right now, I hope you are ready for this fight. Because right now, as far as the media coverage goes, as far as this back and forth stuff with Conor goes, you look lost, my friend. Now, maybe you're just not enough of a talker, a stuff talker, a shit talker, but you look lost right now. You look like you're getting taken in by the show. So I really hope that you're focused and ready to go tonight, or it could be a one-sided, very lopsided fight. For sure. Woodley's facing Thompson. You got the two females with too many consonants in their name for me to pronounce them. Weidman's fighting Romero. And what I think is going to be the best female fight, you got Tate and Pennington as the other fight on the main card. In the prelims, you got Edgar and Stevens. Sorry, these names are killing me. Nurmagomedov and Johnson, Natal and Bost, and then you have Lewin and Muhammad, and then in the earlies you have Miller and Alves, and again, I'm not even going to try and pronounce these names. You have a number of fights tonight in the 205, UFC 205, and I personally think McGregor lost the last fight he had against Diaz. That's why you don't let him go to decision. We'll just have to see how he does tonight. If, like I said, is Alvarez focused, or did he get lost in this media coverage, in the spectacle that is the fighting Conor McGregor? We'll have to see. All right, let's get into it. Chris Rupert from the dirtcannon.com, he could not be with us today for the DC3PO College Football Kickoff, but so graciously, because they are amazing over there at the dirtcannon.com, they still hooked us up with the information. They still got us DC3PO's predictions. We'll go through his predictions. We'll go through my predictions. And it'll be some good stuff. All right, let's start with Baylor at number 11, Oklahoma, okay? Baylor last week, we all know what happened. This is a game. It's on at noon, ABC, and ESPN2, depending on where you're located. And we know last week Baylor went out against TCU. They got blown out 62-22 at home. TCU put it on them, and I'd like to say I did call a number of upsets last week. I I'm not going to call as many upsets this week, but some of my upsets last week did pan out. This was one of them. I did take TCU to win, and they pulled it out. And Oklahoma's defense, it's vulnerable, but Baylor isn't looking like they're capable of hanging with the Sooners in Norman. I mean, Mayfield's, I think, going to go off. Joe Mixon is expected to return from his suspension. Perney may also return from injury this week, is what Chris has here. And that's all bad news for Baylor. They were exposed in the running game, and their schedule is just getting tougher. So ultimately, DC3PO sees this game with a 79.3% win percentage for Oklahoma and going 38-26. I really have to agree with this game. I expect Mayfield to just have a huge game today. I'm definitely taking Oklahoma in this game with a score probably pretty similar to what TCU put on them last week, honestly. And, I expect this to help Oklahoma just push towards the Big 12 championship ultimately. So there you go, Sooners fans. Sorry, Baylor fans. It looks like this season you guys fought. You did what you could. But with all of the backlash from what happened with the coaching fires and the domestic violence issues and everything that happened there, it looks like it's ultimately just going to be too much for you. Big game tonight for CU fans as they take on the Arizona Wildcats. Now, Arizona is not a good team this year. They don't have the talent they've had in the past where they have really given CU issues after joining the Pac-12. And it was just 2 short years ago that Arizona won the Pac-12 South title when Colorado was 0-9 in the conference at that time. So what a difference just a couple of seasons makes in the Pac-12 as far as recruiting and coaching and where players go and how things can change. Because now you're looking at a CU team who's 7-2 this season. They're really could be 8-1 and maybe even undefeated if a couple other things go their way. They're looking to get in the Rose Bowl. I don't know that a 2-loss Pac-12 champion could get into the playoff mix. Maybe. And that's taken into account that they finished with 2 losses and then pretty much beat Washington in that Pac-12 title game. I don't see that happening. And, CU hasn't been to a bowl game since 2007. So we already know they're in bowl games this year. We know Arizona's struggling. Arizona would like nothing more than to knock off or give another loss to a conference foe in Colorado there in the Pac-12 South. Colorado is coming in at 8th in defensive yards per play right now. Arizona is 107th in that category. And, I see this one, Colorado big in this game, honestly. I really see them just taking off on Arizona, going up early, working the running game. And DC3PO, DC3PO pretty much agrees. DC3PO gives a win probability of 96% to Colorado in this game. Colorado 39, Arizona 11. And again, I agree fully with DC3PO and the Dirt Cannon on this one. Another big Pac-12 game later tonight, 7:30 on Fox. USC is taking on number 4 Washington. Now, we know what Washington's done. We know what their quarterback's doing. We know he's in the Heisman Trophy race. And we've seen what USC can do at times this year. They have the athletes. They have the ability to really hang with anybody, I think, there in the Pac-12. They beat CU, okay? Who they are now trailing. USC has had a hard schedule. They have a hard finish to their schedule with a lot of games that could go either way. So this game against Washington is huge for them. Mathematically, they are still alive for the Pac-12 South title. They would obviously need a lot to fall their way. And the quarterback there, the quarterback play in Washington has been something else. He's a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. Good supporting talent at both the running back and wide receiver positions. They've been putting up a lot of points. And I would like to call an upset in this one. I really would.